I am at the CRME Center for Career Development at American International College, founded by the Reverend Calvin E. Amron in 1885, which is located in the geographic center of Springfield, Massachusetts. My hope is to do my dissertation on the decline of the city's economic power in the last half of the 20th century. At one point in the 1970s, it had actually become the second largest city in all of Massachusetts. That would not last long. It faced deindustrialization, bankruptcy, financial control board, crime sometimes in the municipal government, mass unemployment, and poverty so extreme that the Boston Federal Reserve Bank actually provides support and data and direction about some of the struggles. For me, it's a lot like a murder mystery. Who killed this once great city, or what, and who are the accessories? So this exercise was really helpful. I found 3 great dissertations I plan to use. Evan Sullivan wrote one in 2016 for Tufts called Shrinking Cities and Casinos, Why MGM Resorts International found a home in Springfield, Mass. The casino is only 5 years old, but he devoted a lot of time to actually tracing the decline of the city. He utilized a literature review and latent content analysis to evaluate written data to synthesize material for this topic. His research included digital archives, databases, expired copyright material, journals, and biographical work. He leveraged the city's archives and the Reserve Bank's data. He pointed to many of the usual suspects: a changing global economy, race relations, the automobile, and along with it, suburbanization. Ian Jacobs also did a dissertation at Tufts, this time in 2014, on gateway cities in Massachusetts. These are cities, usually former manufacturing hubs in the Bay State, that serve as sort of a pathway for recent arrivals and the poor to be able to pass through on their way to middle-class existence. And so he also used a literature review as well as a data analysis of state efforts throughout history to aid these cities. And he utilized data from a host of state agencies, including the Mass Development Finance Agency. He had copies of the state capital plans. And for him, the issue was really a lack of market rate housing and a failure to properly train workers to support industry following the decline of precision manufacturing in the region, as well as the distance of Springfield from the super metropolitan area in the Boston city reach. Finally, there was Troubling City Planning Discourses, a womanist analysis of urban and social renewal planning in Springfield from 1960 to 1980, which is kind of my sweet spot. Doctoral thesis of Annalise H. Fonza for UMass to examine, and I'm quoting, the discursive nature of urban renewal resources in Springfield, Massachusetts with a womanist method known as emancipatory historiography. And she reviewed countless urban planning documents to critique whiteness as an epistemological or analytical framework and dislodge assumptions about the discourses, storylines, or narratives, again quoting. The work centers on answering 4 questions: whose experience was validated in these documents, what groups were left out of the discussion, what ideologies or epistemologies accompanied neighborhood planning discourses, and what central logic or framework held them together. Again, I'm quoting. So there's an agenda. And I worry there may be some missing the forest for the trees, but it is deeply researched. City annual reports, planning department documents, museum archives. She concluded that the issue was that urban planners had biased views about African-American family structure, that whites were preferred for neighborhoods, even those that were deteriorating, and that suburbs were effectively segregated, and that the planning had been done by white men, and that Massachusetts' reputation as a liberal progressive place was not supported by her evidence. So there's a lot in these 3 works that I hope to comb through in the coming years, and I think it's going to help me in my research on what happened to Springfield. Thank you.